think we're hello? Is everybody here? Are we here? Maybe? Possibly? Here's hoping we are live right now. Somebody confirm for me that we're here. We should be live with the webcast here. You hear me? Perfect. Woo! This is great. All right. We are here, everybody. We are here for the Warner Brothers earnings webcast. What is up? Lots of things. I'm really tired. What's it called? I went to sleep early last night just so I could be up for this. So, yeah. What I'll let everybody know now. Is this the voice? Oh, I wish. No. Wouldn't that be funny? David Zaslav doing his own Coyote versus ACME stream. That would be crazy. Just for the sake of me and copyright, not knowing if this music's from anything, I'm gonna mute it real quick. But once the stream actually gets going, I thought this would be like a recorded call. This is like, from the looks, it seems to be an actual live stream. So that is cool. But for anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Shishigumi. I'm one of the many people running the Lost Media Busters account, whether it be on YouTube and Twitter. I am the main runner on the Twitter account. How long does the calls take? Usually an hour. We're probably going to be here for an hour. I'll be so honest with you before everyone gets too excited. I don't... My chances, if you want to hear my chances, which I'm assuming I'll be asked about closer to when we actually get started here, is I don't think we're going to hear anything about it on the call, but I do also have Twitter up and ready to go in the case that somebody just happens to post something about the movie while we're, listening to this call. I hate how I keep going back to it, and the quality just keeps degrading. Found this on Twitter. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're getting everybody probably from Twitter. We posted about it on our other social media sites, but we're trying to get the word out here. Yeah, hopefully everyone can hear me all right. I'll be honest, my microphone quality probably isn't the best. So I apologize for that. But what I will let everybody know, yeah, no, it's very unlikely. But I figure, what I didn't realize was that you actually have to register to listen to the call. You have to put in an email and stuff. So I'm really glad. How did you find the calling? Someone actually, I could even go to the tweet itself and show you. Because in case you guys wanna, oh my God, look at this. Oh, somebody's putting on their TV. Whoever is here watching this right now, Angel, thanks for joining the stream today. Okay, let me find it. It's a ways down. Just join me as we surf through all my various tweets. Okay, this one right here. Yeah. So special thanks to That's Not Quite All Folks podcast. They ended up actually linking directly to the event on a quote tweet to one of our posts about Coyote versus ACME. So all you'll do is go to the website, click webcast over here, and it'll just send you right there. You have to register though. This is the whole thing. So you'll click continue without account, and then you got to put all this info in. It's a process. It's a process. I'm not sure if that's how it usually works, or if they knew a lot more people were going to be joining this morning, and they wanted to get some security measures underway. But yeah, we are here. We got about 6 minutes listening to this on my work. Now, that is so valid, honestly, so valid. That's the whole thing with this. This is very early in the morning, so it's I'm tired. I feel like a lot of people probably watching this are tired, but we're here because Coyote versus ACME. We don't know if they'll say anything. Honestly, I know this isn't necessarily, this is my first and last earnings call. Yeah, yeah. Um, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of excited to see if they announce anything else, because there are a lot of other Warner Brothers releases coming out this year that I am quite excited for. Obviously, Coyote versus Acme is the priority, but I mean, with it being an earnings webcast and me joining other earnings webcasts in the past, they might talk about other things. I don't know, and I mean, you guys will be the first to see that along with me here too. I'm tired of Warner Brothers. I don't blame you. I honestly, after this whole, I think more than anything else, we're just tired of Zazov, and that is completely accurate. Um, Valid, I should say. Yeah. Because there have been so many movies, so many TV shows, so many things, projects that have just been given the can for no reason. Um, Bro, do you know what an earnings call is? Yes. So an earnings call, for any of those who are in here who have never actually listened, or I guess seen one, because this one's going to be a live stream. From what I have seen in the past, my experience comes from watching Disney's earning calls. I have never actually watched a Warner Brothers one, so it might be a little different. Is they're going to go into how much they made in the past quarter, so a period of time. They're probably going to tease some projects coming, which is where we'll either hear something about Coyote versus Acme or not. Um, whose voice is this? This is Shishigumi. This is one of the people a part of the Lost Media Busters. Um, I am the main runner of the Twitter account too, which is how I'm assuming a lot of you guys ended up finding me. So, yes. But yeah, so they're gonna go over the money aspect of things. That's honestly the main purpose of these webcasts. But the whole reason we're here is because a lot of insiders have said that today is the day where they're going to be either saying something about Coyote versus Acme, because either way they're going to talk about tax write-offs. That's going to happen. So it's just a matter of if they're going to, say Coyote versus Acme, if they're going to say anything about it, or if they're just going to leave it in some random article for us to try and find afterwards. But I will let you know ahead of time that once the stream is over, we'll probably keep the stream going for a little while just to see if someone happens to release something, because it would be really cool to catch that live with all of you here too. But to everyone who's just joining, welcome. I know a lot of people are probably going to be joining more. You sound so much like Elijah Wood. Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. How long okay, the earnings call usually goes for an hour, but I will let you know that probably all the, I hate to use this word, but all the juicy stuff that we're all here for is probably going to be in the earlier half of the call. So luckily, I don't think you guys are going to have to wait long to hear anything about Coyote versus Acme. But what is really cool, and I actually just remembered this, at least with the Disney earnings calls, they have a section at the end where people will call in and ask questions about stuff. So if this works on the same level of that, guaranteed someone's going to call and ask about Coyote versus Acme, which is a huge, huge, huge deal. So we'll just have to see what happens. There are a lot of expectations, a lot of things of what could happen, what the possibility is. But I'll give you my assumption, which is not going to be the assumption a lot of people want to hear, but I don't think we're going to be seeing anything about it, at least on the stream, about Coyote versus Acme. I don't think they're going to reference it or mention it, but I don't know. But I guess I might as well ask this question now. Does everyone want me to silence myself while the webcast is going? Or do you want me to talk throughout it and stuff and give my thoughts on certain things? Because I don't know how many people here want to listen to the full thing or just care about Coyote. Because obviously if they mention Coyote, I'm going complete silent. That's how it's going to go. But I don't know if people want me talking through this or if they want me to just stream it with just the webcast. Because obviously if you wanted the webcast without audio and stuff, what do you guys think? Okay, I'm seeing silence. Go silent. Perfect. Well, oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Can we do like a poll or something? I don't think we can do a poll. I don't know. Okay, I'm seeing the same two people saying silence, and I'm seeing one person say talk throughout it. Keep talking. No, talk over it. Talk throughout it. Keep talking. Why silent? Okay, talk but not a lot. All right. here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. It'll be boring if you're, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, how about this? When they talk about like the company and stuff, I'll talk, but once they start talking like money and like money and stuff, I'll start talking again. So, yes. But for all people who, don't want to hear me talk at all, there's a way you can find this webcast without me talking in front of it. So it is not a huge deal. So, yes. I shall try to keep it quiet when the important stuff's happening. We do have less than a minute, guys, until this stream starts. Are we excited? What's happening? We depressed? Maybe we're depressed. Maybe we're like, oh god. I don't know. All right, let's not spam the chat here, guys. That's not the smart move. Okay, here we go. We're getting started. Let's see if we start on time. Weirdly excited. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so what's happening? it's after 8. Are we? Any way to boost stream volume? I can definitely do that. Here. Okay. Hopefully that's better. Hello? Any day now. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Warner Brothers Discovery fourth quarter 2023 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker's presentation, there will be a question and answer session. Additionally, please be advised that today's conference call is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Andrew Slavin, Executive Vice President, Global Investor Strategy. Sir, you may begin.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Warner Brothers Discovery's Q4 earnings call. Joining me today is David Zaslav, President and Chief Executive Officer, Gunnar Wiedenfels, Chief Financial Officer, and JB Perrette, CEO and President, Global Streaming and Games.
Oh, God.
Today's presentation will include forward-looking statements that we make pursuant to the safe harbor provisions of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. The forward-looking statements may include comments regarding the company's future business plans, prospects, and financial performance, and involve risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from our expectations. For additional information on factors that could affect these expectations, please see the company's filings with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, including but not limited to the company's most recent annual report on Form 10-K and its reports on Form 10-Q and Form 8-K. And with that, I'd like to turn the call over to David.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our fourth quarter and full year earnings call. Our top priority this year was to get this company on solid footing and on a pathway to growth, and we've done that. We said we would be less than 4 times levered, and we are. We paid down $5.4 billion in debt for the year for a total of more than $12.4 billion since the deal closed. We're now at 3.9 times and expect to continue to delever in 2024. We've significantly enhanced the efficiency of the organization with a long runway still to go. We said we were going to generate meaningful free cash flow, a key KPI for our leadership and company, and we've exceeded our goal with $6.2 billion for the year. Gunnar will take you through the financials, but I would just highlight that as we look at the start of the first quarter, 2 months in, we are already seeing markedly improved free cash flow for Q1 versus first quarter last year,
Really?
an inflection sequentially in linear, and an acceleration in streaming advertising.
Wow.
We are optimistic that the efforts we've undertaken on digital and advanced advertising solutions, much of which you'll hear about leading up to and during the upfront, will enable us to achieve a more competitive profile. Bottom line, we're a far healthier company now, and we're building real momentum. And we expect 2024 will be a year to drive that momentum forward even further.
Okay.
That said, this business is not without its challenges. Among them, we continue to face the impacts of ongoing disruption in the pay TV ecosystem and a dislocated linear advertising ecosystem. We are challenging our leaders to find innovative solutions. For example, our U.S. networks and sports teams have been collaborating on a number of initiatives aimed at expanding audience reach and impact through cross-promotion. And I do believe we are getting smarter at determining what's working and what's not.
Really?
Which is helping to drive healthy traction in ratings and an improved near-term outlook in advertising revenue. Internationally, Gerhard Zeiler and his regional teams are doing an outstanding job, as international networks are performing strongly and gaining momentum, particularly in EMEA. Of note, linear advertising in EMEA was positive in Q4, with standout markets in Poland, Germany, and Italy, the latter of which is enjoying a truly material upswing in ratings behind some of the incredibly successful programming moves at flagship Nove, which had its best quarter ever in Q4. I was just in Italy 2 weeks ago and spent some time with the team. Their ratings this quarter are tracking at up over 20%. It's a terrific creative team, and they have some real momentum. In fact, EMEA enjoyed its largest quarterly year-over-year share growth since the outset of the pandemic in 2020, despite some sluggishness in the UK and certain Nordic markets. This next chapter for Warner Brothers Discovery is about putting us on a pathway to growth. And we've got a lot of drivers of that growth, which at its core is underpinned by great storytelling. We are a creative storytelling company powered by 100 years of arguably the best franchises, brands, libraries, and content in the business.
Like Looney Tunes,
and we are on
right?
offense.
Like Looney Tunes?
Our studios are back and firing on nearly all cylinders after the strikes. We're one of the biggest makers and sellers of content in the world. On the theatrical and gaming side, while we did have some real misses this year, we also had some really big wins, including Barbie, the #1 movie globally and the most successful movie in the history of Warner Brothers, and Hogwarts Legacy, the biggest game of 2023.
That is incorrect.
Also in 2023, we relaunched our theatrical animation division with a commitment to have 2 features a year on our slate beginning in 2026. Bill Damansky is leading our animation division after spending 2 decades at DreamWorks, and he's hard at work here with us on the lot. Now, with the addition of animation, DC, and our existing Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema labels, we have created a home for every kind of film and story to be told. And we are excited about what's ahead for movie-going audiences.
Like?
We've had a challenging couple of years, but we are now very excited about our slate in the year ahead, starting with Dune Part 2, which arrives in theaters a week from today and has strong tracking, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is rare for a sequel. We also have Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire, a follow-up to the hugely successful 2021 film opening next month. When we launched this company almost 2 years ago, we made it clear we believe in this business, we're a pure storytelling company, and we're going to bring the best people in front of and behind the camera back to Warner Brothers. And we have been laser-focused on doing just that. First, Warner Brothers is back in business with Tom Cruise. Our partnership with Tom is off and running. Mike and Pam spent a couple of days hard at work with Tom in London earlier this month. As you saw yesterday, we are in negotiations for a new film by Academy Award winner Alejandro Inarritu, starring Tom. This will be the first of many films with us and Tom, and we look forward to a long future together. Paul Thomas Anderson is also at Warner, hard at work on his new film, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Regina Hall. Maggie Gyllenhaal's new movie is set to begin shooting soon, starring Christian Bale, Jessie Buckley, Penelope Cruz, and Annette Bening. Black Panther's director Ryan Coogler and star Michael B. Jordan are coming together for a new original genre film that will go in front of cameras later this spring. George Clooney is back with Warner Brothers and working on a number of exciting projects. On the TV side, we just announced another season of the hit show True Detective with creator and showrunner Issa Lopez.
Yes.
Juggernaut series The White Lotus from creator and showrunner Mike White is currently in production. And Craig Mazin has started filming the new season of the hit show The Last of Us. It's really encouraging to see so many incredibly talented creatives here at Warner Brothers. And most importantly, they share our vision to be home to great storytelling, stories that entertain, inform, and when we are at our best, inspire. This is the Warner Brothers we are building together.
Like Coyote.
This is the Warner Brothers of the future.
Oh my God.
A real strategic advantage we have as a company, and I've talked about it often, is the strength and depth of our franchises, which I believe will be a meaningful driver of asset value and growth for us. And we intend to deliver on our commitment to reinvigorate the best of them. And as I've said, our major franchises have been underused and underleveraged.
Like Looney Tunes.
We are hard at work to begin to get full value.
Oh God.
Superman. We haven't made a Superman movie in over a decade. James Gunn's Superman starts filming next week. I've had a glimpse into what James and Peter are doing, and it really does serve as an exciting indicator of where the new DC is headed under their leadership. And there'll be more that you'll hear from them in the months ahead. Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin is in pre-production for the new spin-off, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which will premiere in late 2025 on Max. Harry Potter. We've not been shy about our excitement around Harry Potter. The last film was made more than a dozen years ago. I was in London a few weeks ago with Casey and Channing, and we spent some real time with JK and her team. Both sides are thrilled to be reigniting this franchise. Our conversations were great, and we couldn't be more excited about what's ahead. We can't wait to share a decade of new stories with fans around the world on Max. We're aiming for a debut in 2026. A top priority for us has been building Max, our streaming service. We fought hard to get Max to be profitable last year. We are now committed to driving profitable top-line growth. And while it's still early innings, we feel good about the trajectory we're on and are on track to achieve our guidance of $1 billion in EBITDA in 2025. We're especially excited about the next 24 months. We have a number of meaningful growth levers ahead, including the rollout of Max in key international regions and markets starting with Latin America next week, with markets in EMEA and APAC to follow later in the year, including new markets, France and Belgium, to coincide with the Paris Olympics this summer. Keep in mind, we are only available in less than half the addressable households and markets as compared to our larger peers. So we still have a huge opportunity for growth from globalization over the next 2 years, including many critical markets around the globe, such as the UK, Germany, Italy, Australia, and Japan, all of which we have a substantial amount of local content, and in many we have sports as well. We're also driving better segmentation and monetization by launching the new ad-supported offering, which is currently only available here in the U.S. And by the end of this year, will be available in over 40 markets globally as well. We also have a number of lucrative partnership deals internationally that will help us scale in more efficient and accelerated fashion. It's worth noting that Q4 saw the lowest U.S. churn rates in HBO Max and Max's history. And the personalization and product improvements planned for this year should continue to have a positive impact on churn. And finally, we're excited to be refreshing and reigniting our content pipeline at Max. The fact is, the strikes really slowed down production, and we didn't have as much content as we wanted for Max. And we're now moving forward with a great slate. Our most recent series, True Detective Night Country, starring Jodie Foster, was a real success, averaging over 12.5 million viewers, the highest season ever for the series. Looking ahead, we've got one of the best lineups in the history of HBO. This next quarter, we'll have Hacks and House of the Dragon, followed by DC's The Penguin and the new Dune series. Then, in 2025, we'll kick off the year with the new season of The White Lotus, followed by The Last of Us and Euphoria, just to name a few. Also coming to Max from Warner Brothers Motion Pictures are Aquaman and the Last Kingdom on February 27th. Wonka will join the service on March 8th, followed by Dune Part 2 in the spring. We also inked a multi-year deal with A24 in December to bring A24's theatrical releases exclusively to Max. They've already started being carried. I want to mention one other area of our business before turning it over to Gunnar to talk through the quarter. As you heard last week, we're entering a new joint venture with Disney and Fox focused on sports. We believe this will provide a terrific consumer experience and will be a great business. We couldn't be more excited about it. We'll also be able to bundle this product with Max. So we see this new joint venture as another potential driver of incremental growth for our business going forward. One more point on our sports business. Last weekend, we saw great coverage and strong ratings at the NBA All-Star Game and All-Star Weekend. We have a strong, positive 40-year relationship with the NBA. And in terms of our NBA rights, we are now fully engaged in renewal discussions, and they are constructive and productive. Our global sports portfolio continues to provide real, meaningful value to all of our platforms. We're proud to be the home of one of the most coveted collections of premium sports content in the industry, along with a best-in-class talent roster and exceptional production values. We're excited for our expansive coverage of the Paris Summer Olympics throughout all of Europe as well. The hard work we've done over the last nearly 2 years has positioned us well financially and creatively. And as we look towards the future, we will continue to make the tough calls and do what is necessary to get this business on a clear pathway to growth and to drive increased shareholder value. With that, I'll turn it over to Gunnar, and he'll walk you through the financials for the quarter.
Thank you, David, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. 2023 was indeed a year marked by the accomplishment of several key objectives, and I'm very pleased with the effort across the organization to evolve our company as our industry continues to change. We come into 2024 well positioned and, once again, with an ambitious agenda to further enhance our financial and strategic profile and to drive meaningful long-term shareholder value. Though we grew EBITDA 12% for the year on a pro forma basis, more than $1 billion year over year, the enormous financial benefits of our many important and successful transformative efforts have been somewhat mitigated by sustained headwinds across the industry. Yet we made strong progress against this backdrop this year, and I'd like to highlight a few notable accomplishments. First, our post-merger integration is substantively complete as of the end of 2023. We have now achieved total combined merger and transformation savings of $4 billion, not including the significant savings realized on content as well. As David has laid out before, while we talked about synergies, we're really applying a fundamentally different management approach to the combined company, data-driven and rational, with shareholder value at the center. There are substantial improvement opportunities left for us to capture, particularly in areas such as enterprise systems, production flow, global centers of excellence, to name a few, and we expect to see this reflected in our near and long-term free cash flow generation. This is an entire organization buying into and operating with a one-team, one-company mindset. Second, our streaming team has made the turn. The D2C segment generated approximately $100 million of positive EBITDA. $2.2 billion
That's probably all we're getting. He's talking money now.
Well ahead of our target. This was accomplished with a tremendous level of rigor and discipline across every aspect of the business, from programming to marketing to technology. And as expected, we've begun to see an inflection in subscriber-related revenues, both distribution and advertising, which accelerated to over 6%.
The only luck we're getting with Coyote versus ACME is someone calling on the call at the end. If they were going to mention it, they would have mentioned it by now.
Be a pivotal year for Max. Relaunches and rebranding in existing Latin American and European markets over the next few months will be critical to bringing consumers an improved product experience.
That's the whole meaning of the call, is to talk about money,
which will put us on better competitive footing.
I'm going to keep it playing. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to keep it playing, but I'm going to start talking.
Lifetime value to
because there's no reason to...
as we proceed into this next phase.
Oh my gosh.
D2C advertising growth should layer in nicely throughout the year, and the business is gaining momentum as it scales. With a more high-profile slate of shows from HBO scheduled for release throughout the year, as compared to the second half of 2023, we're very well positioned to offer a greater share of highly coveted premium streaming inventory. Third, you have heard us talk about the free cash flow opportunity since we first announced the deal. In 2023, we generated $6.2 billion of free cash flow.
There wasn't a guarantee they were going to talk about Coyote versus ACME.
The impact of the strikes contributed roughly $1 billion to free cash flow, while negatively impacting our EBITDA by a few $100 million. We made great strides in realizing capital efficiencies throughout the year, and it was particularly evident in Q4 with over $3.3 billion.
He's going to be talking about money. What we shall do, while he's yapping, is head to Twitter and let's see if anyone's done anything yet.
We have laid a very solid foundation in 2023, and I expect 2024 to be another strong free cash flow year. Finally, all of this has helped support $5.4 billion of debt paydown during the year, including all of our more expensive variable rate term loans.
We got another viewer here, I think. Very cool.
And $40 billion of net debt, and resulting in net leverage of 3.9 times EBITDA, in line with our guidance from last February.
Yeah, someone reposted old screenshots from the film.
I am very pleased and comfortable with our current capital structure, given the tremendous progress we have made. The entirety of our outstanding debt is now fixed with an average cost of 4.6% and average duration of 15 years. Importantly, we have only very manageable amounts of debt coming due over the next 3 years.
There's got to be somebody that has more from it. There's no way.
$1 billion next year and $2.3 billion in 2026, providing us with real flexibility to delever the company. We remain committed to our long-term gross leverage target of 2.5 to 3 times. And while we do not expect to hit that target by the end of this year, As we noted on our last earnings call, we do expect to continue delevering in 2024 as we stay focused on debt repayment with our free cash flows and any proceeds from non-core asset sales like the All3Media sale announced last week. Turning briefly to the quarter, which I will discuss on a constant currency basis, I'd like to call out a few items and offer some additional puts and takes to consider for each of the segments.
Oh?
Starting with studios. The primary callouts were, number one, the impact of the strikes, as I noted, which halted the production and delivery of TV content during the fourth quarter,
Maybe
which
they'll
also
mention
informed
Coyote
some
here?
of our decisions about retaining or licensing content externally in the second half of the year.
Oh, wait.
And two, what can best be characterized as an inconsistent performance of the theatrical slate. Wonka, the co-financing partnership, has had great success at the global box office and performed well above
Hold
expectations.
up a second.
While Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Color Purple unfortunately did not. This was evident in our lower than expected financial results across revenue and EBITDA. A couple of items to consider for the studio segment during the coming quarter. We are lapping the release of Hogwarts Legacy in February last year, which saw the largest portion of its very positive financial impact in the first quarter. This year, Suicide Squad, one of our key video game releases in 2024, has fallen short of our expectations since its release earlier in the quarter, setting our games business up for a tough year-over-year comp in Q1. On the film side, Q1 will be burdened with the marketing campaigns for Dune 2 and Godzilla vs. Kong, which opens at the very end of the quarter. Turning to networks, revenues decreased 8% as advertising decreased 14% due to continuing softness in the
To explain what he was just talking about,
Note the
he just
disposition
mentioned the strikes being the reason for
negatively impacted advertising
the
revenues
release
by
of some
approximately
films
100 basis
externally.
points during the quarter.
That's
While
insane.
still not back to where we'd like it to be, we are seeing a nice improvement thus far in Q1. Domestic
Jesus.
ad sales are pacing meaningfully better quarter to date as we are beginning to capture the benefits of our strong upfront deals struck last year. International ad sales, which accounts for over 20% of total network ad sales, continue to be firmer overall, particularly in EMEA, which
I think
represents
someone
over
is
3/4 of
guaranteed to
international ad
discuss,
revenue. And where we saw
what's it
modest
called?
growth
Coyote
year-over-year
versus ACME.
in the
Someone's
fourth
got to
quarter.
ask about it.
Like the
There's
US,
no way.
we're seeing acceleration
There's no
through
way
the
someone
beginning
isn't
of
going
the
to
first
ask about
quarter
it.
so far in EMEA overall, while we continue to
Because
face
the
challenging
Q&A
market environment
questions
in
can be
LATAM
anything.
as ad dollars more heavily migrate
If
to
Eric
streaming,
Bauza
which
called,
ultimately presents a
that
nice
would be
opportunity
great.
for Max
He
as
just
we
calls
relaunch
in,
in these markets.
does the jeez, not the
Network
Donald, the
distribution
Daffy
revenues were
Duck voice
effectively
again.
flat in the quarter after adjusting for the 400 basis points headwind from exiting the AT&T sports nets and transferring the TNT Sports Chile business to the D2C segment. On a reported basis, revenue decreased 3% as U.S. pay TV subscriber declines outpaced U.S. affiliate rate increases.
Raptor Waiter
While
Music, what did you
inflationary
miss?
impact,
You missed
supported by
absolutely
inflation and
nothing.
pricing agreements in
That's what you
Argentina
missed.
also boosted results. Overall, networks EBITDA decreased 11% as the decline in high-margin
No one cares
advertising
about
revenues
networks. Oh my
was only
goodness.
partially offset by a 3% decrease in operating expenses, excluding the AT&T Sportsnet and TNT Sports Chile impact. Turning now to D2C. We finished the quarter with nearly 98 million subscribers, a modest sequential increase after accounting for the full consolidation following our acquisition of the outstanding shares of Blue TV.
What the heck
as well
is
as transferring
stopping
our
them
TNT
from just
Sports
releasing
Chile
Coyote
subs to
versus
the
ACME
D2C
on Max?
segment,
They don't even have to announce it. They could just drop it on the
International
service.
remains the most important driver of our D2C subscriber growth, with over 1 million subscribers gained in Q4. This more than offset domestic declines, where we continue to feel the impact of the partly strike-driven lack of fresh tentpole content through the second half of the year.
Do I recognize you from
remember
Twitter?
that linear wholesale losses continue to mask underlying retail D2C
I'm not
traction.
sure. We do have
Content
18,000
revenue
people
in the
following
segment
us, so
declined
it's a bit
30%
difficult.
due to the intra-year timing of third-party licensing deals.
How
we
can
laid
one
out in
call?
detail
We
earlier
should
in
look
the
into
year.
this.
Keep
Hold
this
up.
in mind as we comp this in Q2 of 2024. Among the D2C subscriber-related revenues, which were up over 6% in the quarter, distribution revenues increased 4% and benefited from price increases in the U.S. and certain international markets, as well as the Amazon Prime partnership
Hold
in
up
the
a
U.S.,
second.
which we lapped in December. Advertising revenues accelerated nicely versus Q3 to over 50%, helped by the 23-24 upfront deals, higher engagement on Max, and ad-light subscriber growth. We currently see the pace of D2C
Is that what
advertising
that
revenue
is?
accelerating off this pace in Q1 and expect this to be an impactful segment driver for 2024 overall. With regional relaunches and key new market launches heavily weighted towards the first half of the year, we expect D2C EBITDA to be modestly negative in the first half and then profitable again in the second half.
What the heck is
we
this?
currently expect the D2C segment to be profitable for the year as we continue to pivot our focus on profitable top-line growth.
People are going to spam their calls.
Focused on our target of $1 billion in D2C segment EBITDA in 2025. And 2024 will certainly lay important foundations for achieving. I don't even have a password. Turning to our outlook for Q1 free cash flow.
I don't even think you can join from here.
Start. Additionally, our seasonally weakest quarter, yet we see
if someone wants to try, like, to join the earnings call and stuff, I'm pretty sure request callback is how you do it.
Continue to capture our cash opportunities, and I believe we have many more bites at the apple for years to come. Let me mention additional puts and takes to consider as you think about free cash flow for the year.
Oh, what is this?
Number one, the net cash benefit from the strikes, which will reverse.
Why do they keep talking about the strikes?
To normalized levels, will
Aren't you going to register?
We incurred roughly $1 billion in integration-related cash, a little lower than what we had anticipated.
I'll leave somebody else to it.
The timing of certain initiatives. As we continue to execute on our transformation journey, we will
I need to be an investor. There's probably a separate email they sent out to people who legit, like, actually invested in the company to join it.
Number three, the Olympics will be a drag to free cash flow this year, given its working capital dynamic. Number four, interest expense will certainly be lower in 2024 as we continue to delever, and CapEx will likely be slightly lower as well.
The Gumball movie's happening.
Of course,
that's coming out.
Will be the biggest determinant of free cash flow.
Yeah, you need to be an investor.
Before I turn it back for Q&A, I'd like to finish with a final remark on the magnitude of change that's taken place at WBD.
Q&A is happening.
Versus where we started. Of course, we still have additional work to do and more opportunity to capture, but the heavy lifting we've done helps pave the way for ongoing transformation and our ability to embrace the three pillars of our strategy, which reflect our strong commitment to quality storytelling, achieving maximum value through broad distribution and monetization, and operating professionally with a one-company mindset. We are significantly closer to our longer-term leverage targets, with more than $12 billion of debt paid down in less than 2 years. Certainly, having a more flexible financial profile doesn't insulate us, or anyone else for that matter, from having creative wins and losses. But it most certainly will help us take the necessary steps required to further achieve our growth objectives and to more intently focus on driving shareholder value. Now, David, JB, and I will take your questions.
Oh, boy.
At this time, I would like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad.
What?
Your first question comes from the line of Vijay Jayant from Evercore ISI.
Here we go.
Your line is open.
Good morning. Thanks. This is Kutgun Maral on for VJ. One on the studios and one on DTC. On the studios, can you talk a little bit more about your strategic over the next few years? And when do you think we'll get to see the execution on your vision manifest more meaningfully from a financial perspective? Can we see more signs of this in 2024, 2025, or do you think it'll still be at least a few years until we get it to full value, since it takes a while to reinvigorate franchises? And at DTC, when I look at Max from a content perspective, it feels a lot more like legacy HBO Max, and maybe with a less of a focus on legacy Discovery Plus. So I was hoping to get a little bit more color on how you think about the content portfolio overall at Max, and if there are areas you expect to invest more or less in going forward. And I guess as we all think about the evolution of the broader media ecosystem and debate M&A scenarios, what I'm really trying to get at is whether more programming tonnage is necessary to be successful in DTC as we think about the evolution of the broader ecosystem. Thanks.
Bro just roasted
so
the entire company.
Look, we're coming through 2 years of product that we inherited that was a struggle, and you saw it as it came through our balance sheet. This year we expect is going to be much better. Wonka was very strong. The team got in and really reworked that product. We've shown that we have a great ability to market a product globally. We're very committed to the motion picture business. You know, we have loads of talent back, which I enumerated. But when you look at this year, we have M. Night. His daughter has a movie coming out
his
this
name.
summer, The Watchers. We have Beetlejuice coming. We're very excited. Has his Joker, Joker 2 coming. All of which our overall lineup this year is much more compelling. We have a team that's ready to to build those brands around the world. And as I've said, we've really targeted DC. We have Superman, Supergirl, great script has been written, and that's being cast.
How about Batgirl? How about Batgirl?
James and Peter take you through in the next few months a full spectrum of what they see over the next 10 years. And we're attacking Lord of the Rings, we're attacking Harry Potter, because we think this is a balance. We have these
How about
great
Looney
brands.
Tunes? Are we attacking Looney Tunes?
Game of Thrones. We have these great brands that people
Man is
everywhere in the world know, love, and will leave dinner to come run and see. And the balance is we also need things like
Looney Tunes.
The new things like Barbie. And Mike and Pam are doing a terrific job. And our commitment to the motion picture business
Bro is just naming
is
everything.
something there's a real sense of in the town, and it's one of the reasons why we're getting some of the very best people coming on board with us. So I'm pretty excited about what we have this year and what you'll see rolling out in the year ahead. Bottom line, the studio has really been underperforming, including the end of the year where we had some real struggle. But we're very optimistic about this year, and it gives us a chance to have a lot of upside in the next 2 years. I mean, it was really a struggle. JB?
Yeah, and Kafka, on the D2C segment, I guess a couple points. Number one is, I think as we mentioned on previous calls, first of all, we're 8 months in, the encouraging thing for us that we've seen is our engagement in terms of time spent.
We did get a new Supergirl update.
Account has continued to increase, and most of that increase has been driven by the inclusion of the legacy Discovery content. So, and it's not been cannibalistic to the legacy HBO Max content. So
that's a fun game. Take a shot every time Zaslav ums and uhs.
All driven by the inclusion of the legacy Discovery content. The second point I'd make is if you look at the top 10 rails, it's pretty indicative, and you'll see oftentimes in there weeks where 90 Day Fiance or some of our other legacy Discovery content are making up 3, 4,
Bro is
5,
not mentioned Looney Tunes at all. He mentioned animation
on
earlier,
so again,
but it was
the content diversity
brand
and the success
animation.
of the content portfolios coming together.
It's probably all he wanted to actually
and then
say about it.
The third thing I'd say is, I think what is exciting about the next sort of 12, 24, 36 months is about a year and a half ago, Casey and the team with the non-HBO content, the Max Originals, really took a turn to sort of focus on bigger, broader, WB-based franchises. And when you think of the lineup coming, they're very broad, they're very 4-quadrant titles like Penguin, Dune, It, Conjuring, Harry Potter. And so we feel like we're on a great trajectory. And frankly,
all you got to do
lineup over the next 2+ years on Max is the most rich and the deepest and broadest that I think we will ever have been, not just on Max, but frankly, even within the HBO lineup as well.
And contrasted, candidly, of the last 6 to 8 months, where we just didn't have a lot of content. So what's encouraging
you had content.
We've been able to grow.
You had content.
And we really haven't had
You've
much
just been tax writing it off.
And so
that's insane.
This True Detective was step one, but we're going to be rolling out all of these franchises and shows over the next 12 to 24 months.
Bro
and it gives us a real sense of optimism.
That's very helpful. Thank you both.
Next question.
Your next question comes from a line of John Hodulik from UBS. Your line is open.
Great. Thanks, guys. Two, if I could. First, maybe for Gunnar, thanks for some of the puts and takes for 24, but just any other color you could give regarding EBITDA and potential growth, maybe break down it by segments if you could. And then on the new Skinny Sports Bundle, just any other info you guys could provide in terms of what the product's going to look like, pricing, economics, and just maybe, David, your confidence that it's not going to accelerate cord cutting. Thanks.
Sure. Well, why don't I start
Blood
with that?
is talking about sports now.
Look, there's about 125 million households
Oh my God.
In America, and
Back to
there's more
Twitter
than
we
60
go.
million of those that are not in the traditional bundled cable ecosystem. You know, and we see that with things like Bleacher Report, where we have 30 million people, mostly under 30, that the overwhelming majority are not in the
I'm
traditional
shocked
cable
no
universe,
one's
but they love
posting
sports.
Coyote
They're on
versus
Bleacher and
ACME,
House of
or at
Highlights
least tweeting it.
all day. And so we
That's
have a very
insane.
rich
Is it even
target
trending
of
anymore?
over 60 million people that love sports.
Okay, save Coyote
And
versus
it's a
ACME is
product
trending.
that's quite modern. So today, when people were thinking, what channel should I watch? What channel is my sport on? You know, you'll be able to go
That's
to this
crazy.
new product, this new app-based product.
You guys,
if
we
love
gotta
the
we
baseball
gotta
playoffs,
tweet.
You'll watch all of them, and you're
We
not
gotta
thinking
gotta
what
get this
channel is it
trending higher on the
Hockey,
list
you'll
here.
watch
This is.
all of the hockey playoffs right through to the Stanley Cup.
I think it'd be hilarious
For
if we did that while this was
basketball,
going
you'll
on.
watch all the playoffs right through to the championships, and you will never think or ever have to Google where is it. And so it's a platform that the younger generation that is not subscribing, we're able to go after
That's
those
crazy.
that we're missing. We're missing
Warner
those
Brothers has literally been
subscribers.
trending
The
for the
traditional
past 2
cable
weeks
industry
because
is
of a
missing those
movie
subscribers.
from a
We
franchise
think
they've
it's
yet
very
to even mention.
pro-consumer. Look, we have a great
That's
relationship
insane.
with our existing distributors. This is a unique
Psycho
product
Film, you're doing
that's
it?
looking to meet
We got somebody
a
actually
very
trying
strong
to
demand.
join the call on here?
And together, I think this partnership of us together with Disney
Oh,
and
man.
Fox, you know, with Bob and with Lachlan, we're like-minded, we're aligned. We believe that this could be a very compelling product. We're going to be very aggressive with it. We're going to be aggressive marketing it, and we think it coexists, you know, very effectively. We don't see a lot of people unsubscribing to cable in order to get this. We're going after the 60 million plus, those that you know they're not thinking about getting cable when they get their own apartments. And so we're quite excited about it. I've seen a number of the prototypes. We're pretty far
made a
along.
tweet. Gotta
You know,
get callers.
this is not an announcement. You're going to see. We're going to follow pretty quickly with our plans, and I think it's going to meet a demand that's very strong in the marketplace. And
well, and then on the on your EBITDA question, John. So I did go through some of the puts and takes, as you said in the prepared remarks. We are also going to continue calling out factors that will affect comparability over the course of the year on a segment by segment level. If we this year, and you know, on the film side, obviously this is going to continue to be a hit-driven business, and you know, just last year was a great example with the greatest success in the film studio's history, and some real challenges across the industry on the superhero side. So there's not a lot more to add at this point. For D2C, which clearly is the top priority here from a growth perspective for us.
Just want to make a point
we're committed to maintain profitability, but as we said last time we spoke to all you guys, is we've restructured the business, $2.2 billion of profit improvement in 12 months. From here, the priority is going to be different. We're not going back to subs at all costs, but we want to fuel profitable top-line
my
growth,
point is completely in the dumpster. Forget everything I just said.
And beyond. We have the $1 billion bogey for 2025, and JB and the team are going to lay very important foundations this year. We have deliberately not giving a more specific target here because we will not be in a situation where we manage the business for results in individual quarters or fiscal years. We'll do the right thing for the company, and especially on the D2C side, that might mean decisions over the course of the year to pull back on individual markets, accelerate into others, respond to how our consumers are receiving our content. So rest assured, we'll do the right thing from the perspective of long-term asset value and value generation, but we will not be focused so much on individual quarters or years profitability. On the linear side,
just one point on that. You know, the ability to now have a profitable streaming business and to keep that business profitable and growing in a year
There
where
we
we're launching
go.
in multiple markets around the world, where we're
That's what I like
deploying,
to see.
you know, real capital
Oh, it's at the
to
top.
to build the
It's
brand,
at the
to
top.
market the programming, and
Oh.
to have the infrastructure around the world.
Oh,
You know,
man.
and so, you know, for us, we see this
Good
year
stuff,
as
guys.
a
Good
continued
stuff.
build as we go toward next year, and of $1 billion in streaming.
Right. And then just
That's
to finish
what
up
I
the
like to
segments here on the
see.
linear side. I mean, you heard us talk about what we're seeing right now, and that is a more optimistic view than we have had throughout most of the past 21 months since we closed this deal.
Oh,
but
man.
at the same time, I don't have a crystal ball, and we're not in the business of making longer term
Just keep
projections
tweeting,
here.
guys.
We're going to be as
Just keep
transparent as
tweeting.
we can in as much
Let's
detail
get the
as
word
we can
out
about what we're seeing, and we'll continue doing that as we go through the year. What really matters to me is we're going to continue to be very focused on delevering the company. I told you that against the $6.2 billion of cash generated last year, we're off to a strong start in Q1. January was very good. We're going to continue focusing, and I do think
trending.
that we're still in the early
This
innings
is
here. We have an
beautiful.
entire organization with 35,000 people changing their view on how we run the company, how we deploy capital, and what we're optimizing for. That's going to have dividends
Thanks
for us
for the
for
shout-outs,
many,
everybody.
many years. So we'll continue to delever. We're committed to our 2.5 to 3 times target range, and you'll continue to hear us talk about free cash flow generation.
Look, free cash flow is a key metric for us, and we said we're going after it, to
Why don't I
to
try calling? You have to be an investor of Warner Brothers.
Conversion. This company, and in a year where we held back dramatically on selling our content to third parties, where you saw, I think it was almost $1 billion in difference year over year in terms of the content that we sold. We're doing what's right for the business long term. We're laser focused on driving free cash flow, delevering. You'll see us driving free cash flow this year. You'll see us delevering the balance sheet. That makes us a healthy company, because when you partner that with the fact that we have great content, great creatives at Warner, at Max, at HBO, great content coming up in the next few years, that we think is the recipe to really differentiate us.
Your next question comes from a line of Ric Prentice.
Oh, thank God,
Raymond
please.
James. Your line is open.
Thanks. Good morning. Hitting the free cash flow number, obviously strong year this year, but you have the strike benefit. And you say you're going to grow the free cash flow. Can you give us a sense of, can you go beyond the 6.2? You got to normalize for the billion. Can you do mid fives? Can you give us kind of a goalpost on the free cash flow? And then second question, as you think about that free cash flow production that you're driving and the delevering that you're driving, it naturally brings up capital allocation questions. Someday stock buybacks maybe, but also organic and external growth. What assets do you think you've got covered? We don't need any other assets in this category. Are there some other assets out there in the marketplace that might be interesting on a nice to have or need to have?
Man.
Well, let me start with the free cash flow question.
This is so boring.
On investment priorities.
I'm here with you guys.
I did go through in my prepared remarks some of the puts and takes, and I deliberately do not want to give a specific quantitative free cash flow guidance. We did call out the fact that there was $1 billion of a benefit last year, and that is going to reverse in 2024. There's no question about it. I also took you through some of the below the line.
Just keep tweeting, guys.
Expense and cash out is going to come down. CapEx is going to come down. Restructuring expenses are going to come down. And as I said, we will continue to be very, very focused on capital efficiency. And some of that impact is not going to be individual quarters, but it's a longer term process. And we have already very significantly changed the approach to our investment decision making and a harmonized process across the entire company. So I have a lot of confidence that these will be very positive contributions over years to come. And as I said before, I'm not in a position this year to give very specific EBITDA or cash conversion guidance. We'll be very, very focused on it. We still believe that our long-term target of 60% cash conversion is very doable, very achievable. we'll continue to focus on delevering the company.
Such a cool logo.
What I will say is we haven't made any trade-off decisions here between investing in the company and delevering. We have funded our investments. David talked a little bit about the film studio, but we've also made investments on the game side to get to a more consistent cadence of releases over time. We have deployed hundreds of millions of capital into our studio lots and tours and operations. And we have
21K.
Every
we're doing good, guys.
Promising content project, and all of that is happening at the same time as we're investing in an overhaul of our systems landscape. So we have made a ton of investments. We have great assets. We know where to invest more over time. And as I said, we from a capital allocation, capital structure perspective, we remain focused on the 2.5 to 3 times for now. But you're right, over time, there's going to be more and more optionality.
And just as an operating thesis for the company, we're really focused on
this is literally
running these
lullaby.
companies, each of the companies efficiently, having them work together, and we're fighting for free cash flow and to grow free cash flow in each of the businesses. As Gunnar said, this past year we did get the help of the strikes. On other transactions, or whether there's assets out there outside of investing in ourselves that make sense, obviously we look at everything. We work really hard to get ourselves a healthy balance sheet, to pay down debt,
Holy moly,
levered, to really focus on where we're spending money, on driving free cash flow. And so we've positioned this company really now as being a healthy company, and with a great leadership team, with a lot of direction.
Yeah.
We have a great set of assets.
Going on what you said, sweeping it under the rug.
Probably the only
I really
pure storytelling company.
People aren't going to let that happen.
A pure storytelling company that operates on all platforms, and I think we have the greatest set of franchise content assets. And so I like our hand. I think as we look to the future now with Max profitable, we think we can build that, and so we like where we are. We do have the optionality of looking at other assets, but it's going to be a very high bar for us. We like our hand where it is, and we like our particular strategy right now of building Max.
They like their strategy.
Really deploying all of our great creative assets.
We're into the stream. That is correct.
Next question, please.
Oh, thank God.
Your next question comes from a line of Jessica Reeve Ehrlich from Bank of America. Your line is open.
Bank of America.
Thank you. So maybe switching gears to advertising. You mentioned a few times that Q1 you're starting to see strength. Can you just give us some color on where it's coming from, how confident you are that this will continue throughout the year, particularly in light of all the increase in inventory, whether it's Amazon coming to the business, Walmart with Vizio. And then as a follow-up, you mentioned some market launches in some pretty big countries, UK, Germany, Italy, Australia, Japan. Can you talk about the timing? Some of these markets have limitations, like the UK. And then lastly, any color that you can give on third-party content sales or your views on that? There's just no way, given your library, that you can use all this content on Max.
Bro, it's not.
All right, let me maybe take the first one here and provide a little more color in advertising. So,
bro is not talking about Vizio.
We have actually.
You don't even know what Vizio is.
Let
me show you what Vizio is.
The U.S. side is, I think, benefiting from the fact that we've seen
they bought
ratings trends over the entire second half.
Okay, I didn't know they bought Vizio. That's completely different.
That. The upfront deals are kicking in. Remember, we had a very different.
My child was having some trouble falling asleep, and none of the stories worked. Then I played and found this webcast and played it. He fell asleep. Thank you. That was wonderful. Yeah, it's a TV brand.
I don't want to make any predictions for the rest of the year.
Also, what the heck is Watch Free Plus? We're going down a rabbit hole, guys.
Priorities lined up. We're catching up.
Bob Ross,
on advanced advertising.
Gordon
revenues.
Ramsay.
The team
How
has
nice
made
is this?
some structural changes, and we're beginning to harness the entire data footprint of Warner Brothers Discovery as we roll this out. Upfront cancellations are looking. So That's the U.S. market, and again, forget about the streaming side of it, which, as I said, is growing at north of 50%. Internationally as well, and while there is no such thing as one international market, it is a mixed picture.
Yep.
But the key markets, the most relevant markets for us in Europe specifically, are doing very well. Poland is doing incredibly
It's the
well.
best tweet I've
We've got
seen
very,
all
very
day.
strong network positions there. Italy has
Oh my
a real
God.
upswing in programming. We're the fastest growing group in that
That's
market.
too good not
And
to
that's all
post.
flowing through to advertising. And even in those markets that historically have underperformed a little bit for us, such as the UK, the Nordics, those numbers are looking much more stable now than they did in the fourth quarter. Again, this is 7 weeks into the year. I don't want to make any predictions, but we're in a much better place today than we were.
Bro's making predictions.
On the Max side, Jessica, in terms of international rollouts, I mean, as David said in his remarks, one of the things that's sort of misunderstood when people look at our subscriber numbers versus certainly our larger peers is the point he made in his remarks, which is that we are currently available. Our TAM is less than half the size of those larger peers. So that means we have still, 2x the addressable market to go after, the other half of the addressable market to go after. We are excited that in 2024 we're getting back to growth and new market rollouts, which is the first time in 2 years, as we've been obviously hard at work retooling the platform and the technology and getting it
Just
right
keep
in
posting,
the US,
guys.
with LATAM launch next week, Europe starting in the second quarter, with 2 brand new markets in France and Belgium starting in the second quarter. Asia and Australasia will likely be more by 25, and then the rest of the European markets for now slated more for 26. So that's sort of how we see the rollout coming, and we think that's a huge tailwind for us for growth and subscriber growth and revenue growth over the next 24 months.
And then Jessica, on the third-party sales, and I'll let David weigh in as well, of course. But we are doing exactly what we said we were going to do. There is no religion with regards to warehousing all of our content on Max or not doing business with competitors. We are one of the greatest makers of content in the world, and we serve our own platforms and we serve third-party platforms. And the honest answer is I can't give you a
anything?
Nope. High-level direction.
You
We're
missed
looking at this
absolutely
case
nothing.
by case, and we've got a process in place. We have the best possible view now on what the strategic, the financial merits of exploitation.
I think the call's ended in like 4 minutes, guys. I don't even think they're going to mention
it. We have healthy discussions, and what you will notice is we haven't sold anything since we closed the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. We have done some co-exclusive deals, and that makes a lot of sense. We've got all the data. We know exactly what we're giving up, and we know exactly what we're winning. Now, at the same time, we are having tough discussions internally. We look at the data together, and there are definitely certain red lines, and David makes sure that we never cross them. But in other cases, we've gone with some deals that have garnered some press attention, and that I'm very, very happy with, because we're doing the right thing. We're providing oxygen to our content, and we're optimizing returns here, not only for the company or shareholders, but also for the talent that we're working with. We are doing the best we can to make those great stories and monetize them in the best possible way.
The point that Gunnar made, when we do sell content, we do it only co-exclusively, so that we hold on to everything. There's nothing that we want that's on Max that we would sell and wouldn't be on Max anymore.
What the heck?
I would put it in 2 categories. Channing is back in business quite aggressively. The Warner Brothers television business. We have over 100 series, some of the best series on television.
What the heck?
Shrinking, Abbott Elementary, Ted
What?
Lasso.
What?
We have some of the greatest talent on the TV side working with us.
Okay.
And so that's back up, and we think we're going to see a lot of opportunity there. On our library, we're incredibly.
Did we kill Twitter? Maybe. Maybe we did.
A group of big branded programs that
Oh
represent
my.
the core of who we are as a company, and those are going to stay with us.
And you've seen some big name shows, but most of those have been around for a very long time. They've already been syndicated on other platforms, and we're able to reap a significant amount of dollars from them. And so that will be the balance. We probably have the biggest motion picture and TV library in the world, and our job is to really focus on how to monetize that with different windows.
What is Blue
Next
just...
question.
Your next question, Ben Swinburne from Morgan Stanley.
Please.
Your line is open.
Please.
Thank you. Good morning. Maybe for JB, just to follow up on the direct-to-consumer Max strategy. You listed UK, Italy, Germany. I know those are Sky licensing deals. I'm assuming Australia, Japan have similar structures. So have you guys made the decision to sort of move out of those relationships and go direct-to-consumer? Or maybe just talk about your thoughts, because you have had some nice deals in those markets in the past. And then for JB and maybe Gunnar, however you want to address it, it's great news to hear on the NBA conversations. Clearly, that would be a big positive to retain those rights. How do you think about making that work financially for the company? It's not a big debate that linear TV is under pressure on the revenue side, and I think it's probably safe to say the NBA costs are going to go up. So how do you guys approach this from a kind of a P&L point of view when you think about exploiting the NBA for what I imagine will be another long-term deal? Thanks so much.
Ben,
you know what I have to say to this?
The UK, Germany, and Italy, and I think we've said it before over the last year, are key markets for us. Markets with Sky, which has been over the years.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
That's what I have to say.
But having our own direct-to-consumer product
in
those markets is a core strategic initiative of ours, and we're already in business aggressively in those markets. In the UK, we have our direct-to-consumer Discovery Plus product, and we're one of the leaders in sport in the UK, where we have what our partnership with TNT, which we just rebranded as TNT Sports, and that has millions and millions of subscribers, and that partnership is going very, very well. And so the idea of coming into that market with the wealth of content that we have, and our content is, we see how well our content works in the UK, Germany, and Italy. We could see the ratings of that content when it airs on Sky and the share that it gets in the aggregate. And so we think it's those will be real businesses.
Well, Twitter isn't working anymore.
And meaningful and real opportunity to grow.
If something comes out,
and grow,
I guess just text me.
That'll be beginning in 26.
Yeah. Can I just add, Ben? I think the thing that's been most, in some ways, most exciting for the international rollouts is that, as David mentioned in some of his prepared remarks, there are a number of distribution partners in all these markets that are very eager to find ways to help us get to market faster and scale faster. And doing it with a partner, in many cases, can drive a lot of efficiencies from a marketing standpoint and get us to scale very quickly. So those are also great and very
try refreshing Twitter.
Good conversations, and ultimately economically, I think will be very interesting for us as we transition from a more licensed model to a D2C model.
Now there are markets, like for instance India, where we did a very attractive deal with Reliance. There are markets where we look and we say, that for the near term, even in that case, we did not do a long-term deal.
We won.
To see how all of our content does. And if we think that we can be more profitable and build asset value in a market, we will go. In markets where we don't, and the economics are very compelling to sit out for a period of time, we'll do that like we did in India. Yeah. But Europe is core to us, and Latin America, and so you're seeing us really speak to that with these launches, and you'll see it over the next 18 months.
And Ben, on the NBA, as you know, we're in the middle of exclusive discussions here, so I want to lift it up maybe one level to a general statement on how we look at sports rights. We're spending close to $20 billion sort of on content and programming in the broadest sense. And every dollar we spend plays a different role across the portfolio. We generally like to own our content. That's not the case with sports, but we obviously acknowledge the enormous value, reach value, emotional value of these deals. and we have been able to strike profitable deals, and we're always going to be disciplined. It's very easy to lose control over sports rights investments. That's not what we do. We're going. We know exactly what value we assign, and we stay disciplined during our discussions. If you take that into account, I think we have enormous opportunity to be much more efficient with our content spend overall across the entire company, and that will include certain areas in which you're right.
Yeah,
You
no
probably have to
kidding. This is
assume
putting everybody to
that
sleep. You're
there's
telling me.
inflation going forward. On the NBA specifically, we've had a very
Oh my
strong
God.
partnership for 40 years, and I certainly hope that we're going to be able to continue that in the most positive way.
Let's see if we have time for one more quick one.
Oh,
Moffett-Nathanson, your line is open.
Please.
Thanks. Good morning. Two for you guys quickly, if I can. David, you've been vocal about the idea of rebundling. Do you think it's inevitable that the digital streaming ecosystem will end up looking a lot like the old MVPD world? And maybe if you can talk about the benefit of bundling Max with other streaming services like Netflix through Verizon. And then for JB or Gunnar, can you talk about the future of Bleacher Report sports add-on product, given the Sports JV announcement? Anything you can share in terms of the engagement with sports on Max to date with the free option? Thanks so much.
That's it.
Thanks, Robert.
That's
Look,
it.
I think everything is driven by the consumer experience. And the consumer experience right now is it's cluttered, it's awkward, it's somewhat confusing. People have learned how to deal with it. You Google what show, where a show is, or where a sport is. But rebundling just makes an awful lot of sense.
That's
this idea, I think
that's
we've
it.
transitioned
Let's
out of
see.
the idea
Maybe
of
someone will hear that
subs
and
at any cost. We've done that by getting Max profitable and really focusing on getting real subs with real economics and growing that like a real business. But the ability for a consumer to go to one place, the Verizon example is a good example, and Netflix is a great product. You put it together with Max, and you can get those together, provide a very meaningful experience for people, and it makes it a lot easier to traverse across our universe and theirs. In the longer term, I expect that there will be meaningful bundling. It's going to happen in one of two ways. It'll either be a bundling by an intermediary, a platform company like an Apple or an Amazon or a Roku, or what's going on with Charter and Comcast, which is very compelling and I think very helpful to all of us in the content business. That these channel stores morph into places that have just provide a simpler and easier and less anxious experience for people to find the content that they want and have it be simple and fluid. Or we could do it ourselves. And I've always advocated that we should do it ourselves. And so we're looking to do that domestically. We're looking to do it outside the U.S. In some ways, the sports venture is trying to meet that very need. That when you put our product together with Lachlan and Fox's product together with the ESPN product, it just has a much better, more fluid, more simple consumer experience. It's not which channel is it on. It's not where do I go, how do I go, do I have it, don't I have it. It's in one place. And I think more and more will be gravitating toward that.
And I think, Robert, on the BR Sports part of the question, it dovetails exactly with what David just said.
Holy moly.
We look at the overall, the sports venture, this new sports venture, and the ability for the partners to bundle with their existing streaming services, and with our case with Max, is great for the consumer, make it much more simplified. And as it relates to what does that mean for the existing BR Sports that are on Max, look, we'll have more to share with that over the coming months as we get closer to launch the venture. But obviously, it's incredibly compelling to be able to say that we'll be able to take the incredible entertainment offering that will be on that is on Max, along with the great aggregated simpler, more compelling consumer offering of the joint venture, and put those two together and offer them in a compelling fashion to the subscribers. And as just as a note, obviously, in the meantime, we're continuing to lean in on the Bleacher Report sports offering, and we're incredibly excited over the next few months to bring all of our March Madness, including building up to the Final Four, on Max for the first time here over the next 45 days, and then leading into the NBA playoffs and a little bit later in the spring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call.
And a little bit later in the spring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call. Thank you for your participation. You may now disconnect.
Well, hate to say I told you so, but we did start, and we talked about expectations, and we were expecting, you know, we were expecting to have nothing happen, and nothing's happened. So yeah. So yeah, that was it. Looks like Cricket here, Coffee Bugs, seems to be posting some pictures, some of which I've never seen from the film. So it looks like we're trying to get the leaks happening here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I kind of figured they wouldn't talk about it publicly, but I mean, what we really need to look out for is some article, about it. 'Cause yeah, I don't know. I mean, what one could do is continue posting it today, but after today, I really don't see the point. Because today really was the deciding day on whether the movie was posted or not. Not posted, or like when it's coming out. Yeah, I don't know. Keep trending the hashtag. I don't I don't know what to say, really. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate that they didn't mention it, but it's, you know, I'm not surprised. It's top of Twitter right now, 21.4K. They never even mentioned Looney Tunes by name. I think it's insane that what's it called? I think this is the biggest thing we got out of it. The fact that it is the only pure, you know, Zaslav called the company the only pure storytelling company, and they mentioned animation, I think, once. And they never even mentioned Looney Tunes. They mentioned, I saw a lot of people when they mentioned, what was it, 90 Day Fiancé? They mentioned that more times than they did the Looney Tunes, which is literally like what pioneered the company. I think, unfortunately, Zaslav is very much about the numbers, and somehow, he's not seeing, he's not seeing the benefit. He's not seeing the want from people for it, which is insane, seeing again as it's been trending for about 2 weeks now. So it's wild. It's wild. I mean, for right now, I'm up to still talking with you guys about Coyote versus ACME. Talking about other things too. Because obviously, while this, you know, could very well become lost media, and might already be lost media, seeing as it's likely been written as a tax write-off, there's tons of other pieces of lost media that still have hope, you know, that we're also looking for. So, you know, it's just a matter of continuing to get the word out for what we care about and working towards what we want, and Yeah, I don't know. But I do appreciate you folks for, getting up early with me today to watch that. I guess listen to it. Um, because, what's it called? Um, this is a monumental day, I think, in terms of for Looney Tunes fans and stuff. I think it goes to show exactly where the company's at in terms of what they care about, and I don't think the Looney Tunes is one of them. Um, I don't know. I think my personal thing is, um, if they cared about animation at all, they would not have mentioned it once. And if you go back in the webcast and stuff, they only mentioned animation once. They mentioned Harry Potter again. They mentioned 90 Day Fiance more times. So yeah. Slashy, may I share a rumor as to why this is happening? Sure. Yeah, I'm all down for rumors. To everyone heading to work or heading back to bed, thanks for joining us for the stream today. Really appreciate it. But yeah, Slashy, what's this rumor you're hearing about? Be interested in reading about it. To everyone who's disappointed, I'll be so honest with you. I personally would not have gone into the webcast expecting anything because I specifically didn't mention, not mention. I didn't expect anything. Yeah, there's a split with the executives. That could very well be the case. I hope those writers that were going to stop working with them end up actually doing that. Yeah. What I miss. What a great time to text that in the chat. Would you believe it that if I said you missed absolutely nothing? It was nice being here, man. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Smiling Brain. Appreciate that. Yeah. To everyone who's heading out, thanks for joining us. I'm going to stay streaming for a little while longer. Maybe we can talk about other pieces of lost media and stuff too. Because this definitely is not the only thing we have going on, but for sure is one of the main things right now. Some want the film scrapped. The individuals that made the decision want the film scrapped because their job is on the line if this film even breaks in. Yeah, really enjoy the stream. I'm glad, Alessandro. That's good. No one cares about 90 Days. Yeah, it's very true. No one, not a single person here cares about 90 Days Fiance. But unfortunately, money talks, and I guess 90 Day Fiance was doing more numbers than Looney Tunes. Somehow, I don't understand how, but somehow. Keep posting the hashtag. Yeah. Wait, they never talked about Coyote versus Acme. They never talked about Looney Tunes. They briefly mentioned the animation studio. I guess someone on Twitter mentioned that they're doing 2 new films in 2026. Coyote versus Acme is pretty much confirmed at this point to not be one of them. If I had to guess, one of those movies is the new Cat in the Hat movie. I'm back. What happened? Okay. What happened? Okay, for everybody who is joining now or joining after I guess they left but kept the stream on. Yeah, they didn't mention animation. They didn't mention Looney Tunes. They didn't mention really anything pertaining to Coyote versus Acme at all, and none of the questions that people asked at the end pertain to that. Just pertain to other things. Literally nothing happened. Yeah. But I mean, a point I will make is the fact that we all came together on this call to share our support and stuff. The fact that all of you guys were able to come here early this morning to do this, I think it shows just how powerful, getting the word out and coming together is. And I'm excited if we have so many people in here now that, we can come together for other things to try and find other things too. Because I think the whole point of our account, the Lost Media Busters, is to come together to help get lost media found. And Coyote versus Acme is, well, it's a pretty big movie that a lot of people are wanting to see, including myself. and it's not. It doesn't seem like it's being released officially. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let's see. Save Coyote versus ACME still trending. Got some art. Got tons of pictures. It's insane, but it's not surprising. Been here since the start of work. Appreciate the stream, man. Yeah, no problem. No problem. You know, the fact that you guys were all able to make it out this early, I posted about it yesterday, and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't think a ton of people are going to show up for this, but again, really, just the outpouring of people this morning really, really just went to show how important this movie is to so many people. We're all expecting a leak now. I'll be honest, I don't even think we're going to see a leak today. And that's just me speaking, like, honestly, I don't see it happening. If it does, obviously, we'll be the first. Well, not the first. We're definitely not going to be the first. Someone's going to catch on to it before we do, but we'll make sure to post about it. But yeah, I mean, with how big the Warner Bros. Animation field is there, someone's got to have something. Yeah, no problem. Everyone calling 4chan right now. We'll see what happens. This is historic. It really is. It really is. I'm glad again that everyone was able to join me for this today. What I will say, real quick, because I'm pretty sure I saw someone mention it. We have surpassed 1,000 subscribers on the stream today. That's huge. That is huge. Oh my goodness. I want to say a quick thanks to everybody who, whether it be through this stream or through our Twitter or wherever, the fact that we've gotten over 1,000 subs is a huge deal for us. I won't tease too much, but we are cooking on a video regarding a piece of lost media that we don't see usually covered too much on YouTube. And we got some great people that are working on that. So I'm really, really excited for that. But, congrats. Thank you guys. Yeah. I think the whole group's going to be happy about this. Because I will make sure to mention here, too, we will usually have other people on these streams with us to, like, discuss lost media for the future and stuff. Because we want to try to start doing these live streams more regularly. Especially since it seems like, this time you guys really did enjoy it. But we're going to have streams in the future, but we'll just be taking your, guys in, what's it called? We're going to be taking your guys' requests in the chat to look for, lost media and to cover it on a live stream and to look into it a little bit and try to see if we can help in any way, and just more of us interacting with the community and making sure that we get our word out and stuff. So, yeah. I mean, broadcast has ended, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm glad, I'm hopeful that when we archive this stream that people will be able to go back and truly see how awful, the call was. That we have a place where it's archived. But, let's see. Man, that's a good photo. I like that. Let's see. Let's cross our fingers. Cue the sad music. Yeah. Because realistically, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I don't. At least the call isn't lost. Right? That's what I'm saying. Do you post on the Internet Archive? I don't know what are you pertaining to the fact if we'll post the call on the archive? Because what we're planning on doing is just having this stream archived, the live stream we're doing right now. And then you guys can go back and find it, which means that all of your guys' tweets relating to this event that I was scrolling through while the stream was playing will also be archived on our channel, which, I don't know. The video will remain as a time capsule, I guess, of, what occurred on February 23rd, 2024. The faithful day where Coyote versus ACME was pretty much officially said to be in the can. From the looks of things. But we, yeah. I see the massive backlash. Well, yeah, obviously. Yeah. More pictures. Again, I'm pretty sure a lot of these pictures have been posted by other people, but, you know, the fact that we're spreading them around, I think it helps to get the word out more, too, which is a good thing. I'm glad I've joined you. Yeah. Let me see if, I don't know. Sound not good? Yeah. Not good at all. But, I mean, hey, we're here. We could say we were here. And, yeah. I don't know. So, I don't know what else to say, really. We're so front, guys. Yeah. Do you guys of LMB use the Internet Archive to upload? We have used Internet Archive before. I can show you where we are on there. This stream was a nice way to cushion. Yeah, I think, honestly, just being able to see all these people come together to fight for something is really, it's a relieving thing. Because, you know, sometimes you think you're all alone in this, and you really aren't. What did we upload? Pretty sure we uploaded the Tamagotchi Life videos a while back. I mean, other stuff that can't go in. Oh, yeah, no, we'll definitely, I mean, for all our latest on stuff, I would definitely recommend, if you aren't already, just following us on Twitter, because we'll post about everything there. Let's see. Are we actually, we might be logged in. We're not logged in. That's a big womp. Lack of a mention for the film. My guess is if they were to have been releasing the film, they would have mentioned it. And they didn't. So, I personally do not see it happening. I don't, if it ends up releasing, through Max, they're just gonna drop it on there one day. I don't think they're gonna advertise it, which is insane because the movie has such a stacked cast. I just don't. What came off to me as obvious during the call, I don't know if it was obvious to everybody else, but Zaslav did not sound enthusiastic. He sounded like he was reading a script. He was trying to pretend to have a smile on his face, and he was just laughing along with it. It didn't seem like he legitimately. Didn't seem like he genuinely believed in the company. He didn't genuinely believe in the projects that was happening. I think when that one person basically dissed him at the beginning of it, he started stuttering a lot. He started naming just so many random things, being like, oh, we have Dune, we have Wonka, we have all these other things. Half the stuff he mentioned, is, in the past. It was in the last quarter. It wasn't even now. So that says a lot already. Alessandro, we don't know if Coyote versus ACME is still coming out. The main guess that I would have, and that a lot of other people would have, is that if it is to be released, if we are to see it, it'll be leaked by somebody. But I don't. What I would assume is that if someone was to leak it, it would either be today or very soon. But because it has been confirmed at this point due to like test screenings and stuff, that there is a completed cut out there. There's an early test screening cut they had, and there is a completed cut out there because we have seen numerous new screenshots be revealed by top news companies, and they haven't even released a trailer yet. We don't even have a trailer for this movie. We literally only have screenshots and concept art and all these leaked pictures from the set. That is all we have to go off of. Which is what I think is what makes it so interesting to everybody, is the fact that it's had so much publicity and marketing, with not even being officially announced by the company. I'm pretty sure back when it first started production, there was a Variety article about it. And that is it. Now, that was all we got back when it was first announced to be happening. So Warner Brothers is top and trending. I don't even see Coyote versus ACME anymore. So yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what else to really say about the movie that hasn't already been said. But yeah, I mean, we did it, guys. We're here. We did it. We watched it. We did the thing. And I got to have you all here with me as we did it too, which is really nice. So, this probably could have done super well in the box office if they just ended up releasing it. There's so much attention. Yeah, Funky, I agree. We could have this could have been a very easy thing, and it just they wanted to make it so, because what basically happened, from what I gathered, was the fact that they had so many companies willing to buy it from them. So many companies. And they turned all the companies down because they ultimately realized, Zaslav specifically realized that he figured he'd be made fun of because they were releasing it from another company. Which is insane to me, because they quite literally could have just dropped it on the service whenever. It is done. So, did a bunch of randos from 4chan say they had... I don't know about 4chan. I have not looked into that at all, and Twitter's probably the main place I'm staying when it comes to seeing leaks or anything. I don't know. 4chan is a very shady website sometimes when it comes to stuff like that. So I try to steer clear. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Not seeing too many comments file in. This is so sad. Yeah. Lost media request. Here we go. There's a lost Vocaloid song called Interface, and it was released around 2011 and got deleted by the creator, and the creator doesn't have the original files. Interesting. Very interesting. If you want to DM us about that on the Twitter. They tried selling for $80 million, the film's full budget, and other companies tried to counter offer and were denied. Yeah. You can't believe anything from 4chan, but I'll be lurking. Yeah. Apparently the final courtroom scene script was leaked. It's pretty funny. Oh, really? Okay. I did not see that. That's cool. I had no idea anything from the movie was leaked in terms of scripts and stuff. Hopefully they say something about it, because it's just, how can they ignore all the media It's very true. Since we are talking about lost media, one day I hope Saturday Supercade gets fully found. Saturday Supercade. Not heard of that one either. WBD now has the last chance. The film is so much... No, they're... Okay. That's WBD, if they were to have said anything about the movie, they would have said it during that earnings call. They aren't saying... There's nothing that's coming out about it. Basically, 3C Films said they tried to sell a clearance item that didn't believe in at full price. Yeah. Can someone drop a link for the script leak? I don't even know if you can drop links in here. What we need is a Shrek Retold style fan animation project about this. What I will say, on the Twitter, there is one person who's been fighting for this Coyote versus Acme movie. That has been phenomenal in sharing the messages about stuff. I gotta find the dang post. Let's see. Where is this person? They made a really cool, here we go, this guy right here. This dude has done a phenomenal job. Mr. I don't even want to try to attempt to pronounce that name, but if you guys aren't following this dude, he is so talented. The majority of the Coyote vs. Acme posters you've seen that you probably think were from the movie, like this shot right here. I've seen this circulating. This is not from the movie. This is just done by some guy. All of these pictures are just done by this person, and he is so talented. Like this one I've seen be circulated around a lot. And it's not from the movie. These are not from the movie. These are from like, just look at how pretty. Not from what's it called? It's not from Coyote vs. Acme. He made a whole animatic. Look at this. Whole animatic of the movie. This poster I've seen go around a lot. Right here. Even more shots. This guy clearly is talented at his stuff. Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. Yeah. So if y'all aren't following this dude, he's got a Twitter right here, Clement Diolot. Make sure to give him a follow. I just did myself. I've been meaning to do that for a while, but it is really talented dude. And he's been at the helm of these fights for stuff. He's even trying to get a comic made of the movie, just so it can be what's it called? A comic of the story. Just so we can see it. They really animated the comic concept art. Yeah, for sure. So definitely make sure to check this guy out. And this person ended up animating. This is beyond cool. I'm gonna have you guys watch this by Yi and Animation. Check this out right here.
It could have been wise, Daffy. We could be Wile E. Coyote right now. I hate to be political, but release Coyote versus Acme!
Absolutely. Just so much talent. So much talent on display here. Literally someone who works in Warner Brothers Animation's team ended up animating this. So it's just, the fight's gonna keep going. Oh, we got Coyote versus Acme back on trending again. That's good. That is good. But yeah, absolutely adore that animation. Yeah, no, for sure. It's really well done. But I think from everything, yeah, a lot of people are gonna keep trending the hashtag. I'll be honest, after today, we ourselves are probably not going to keep posting too much with the hashtag anymore. Unless, obviously we end up finding something new about the movie or whatever, because a lot of it at this point feels like just yelling at a brick wall. I turned away from the stream for a sec. No. But yeah. That's about it. for the stream. I think I'm gonna be ending it here, guys. But it's been I wouldn't say it's been fun. Because obviously this hasn't been the most enjoyable of calls, but obviously if we find out anything new about the movie or we get sent anything or whatever, you bet our butts we'll definitely post about it or release about it. But until then, you know, we've done our duty here. We've successfully played the entire earnings call, and we've had a lot of people show up today to watch it with us, which is a huge deal because this is our first real time going live. I don't know if anyone here is from the beginning of the channel. We had one other stream in the past looking at Toontown stuff, but this is our first real live stream, and we've had a lot of people show up, and we've surpassed 1,000 subscribers now, which is a huge, 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 huge deal for us. So I just want to personally send a big thank you to everybody for continuously supporting us. Because, you know, we're trying our darndest here to keep getting the word out about everything for you guys. And, yeah, thank you all so much for being here today to, you know, advocate for such an important cause. Yeah, I mean, we got a YouTube right here, in case you guys, I mean, well, this is what you guys are watching this on. What am I saying? Yeah, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter. We do have a Discord server. If you guys aren't in that yet, you can definitely join that too. But yeah, that's pretty much it from us here. If anyone has any lasting remarks before this stream ends forever, say your last piece now. Before we end up ending the stream. If anyone wants to say anything more. Let's see, Fungi Artist. Even if we don't get anything at the end, at least it's a good fight. For sure. For sure. Very, very good fight. For sure. I agree. Alright. Anyone else have anything to say before we end up hopping off here? Or not seeing anything? We're getting a ton of hearts. We're getting hashtags. Yep. Bye. We got a ton of buys. Yes. See you all around. Bye, guys. Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for your stream work on social media. Love your work. Oh, thank you so much. Cabuncos? I think. Alrighty. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here. Worth a shot at least. Peace. Bye, everyone. Keep fighting. Yeah, no, obviously today, keep spreading the hashtag. If you want to keep spreading it past today, obviously that's your move. But yeah. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. This is Shishigumi from the Lost Media Busters. And